You grow the most as a photographer when you experiment. And for me, that's the fun of photography. You ask a question and then figure out how to answer it. In this video, I wanted to experiment more with my Polaroid i2 because I guess this is a Polaroid-centric channel these days. But I also wanted to experiment with portraits because it's something that I'm really rusty at. And I saw that the black and yellow duochrome Polaroid 600 film was back, and so I ordered some. I've used this film before, but I didn't really love the results because it was just in broad daylight, so the photos were just kind of eh. I really wanted to embrace the yellow and blackness of this film by going super contrasty and low light, because you know how much Polaroid cameras just love low light. Not only that, I got these small little aperture MC lights that I wanted to play with as well. This comes after I experimented off the record the other day, not on video, with my last pack of Polaroid Reclaimed Blue, which is a really interesting film. I'm not sure I love it that much, and only 3 out of the pack of 8 turned out. I do like these, but again, the blue just looks like a not fully developed regular Polaroid film. But overall, I would say playing with that was fun and got me inspired to continue to play around with these kind of portraits. So my wife kindly volunteered to be my model for this yellow and black duochrome shoot. And by that, I mean she begrudgingly volunteered because she is totally numb to me asking her that question by now. I'd love for you to hear us bickering during this shoot, but I screwed up the audio on the video, so there's not audio for some of these shots. My first experiment was a quad exposure, kind of inspired by that Rolling Stones Hot Rocks famous album cover with the backlit head, and it repeats a bunch of times. I like to push photography often by trying to use as little light as possible, but these Polaroid cameras are hungry boys when it comes to light. So it's really tough to do a silhouette shot like this because you need tons of light to make that work. And I wish for these I had more light going to her nose as opposed to the top of her head, and it would have been cool if I also kept it in the center of the frame. That would have been nice. The problem with all these shots is that I had my lights set really hot, and even though my Polaroid i2 light meter says that I was underexposing in all these shots, the highlights still ended up being very hot for pretty much all these. And maybe that's just how the yellow and black film behaves, I'm not sure, but all of the highlights are pretty blown out. And I will say that I was pretty discouraged after doing this shoot. And then I woke up the next day and actually these photos grew on me. I really ended up loving them the next day. So despite all of these, and I will say all of these are kind of blown out highlight-wise, I kind of like them. This one takes a second to really understand what's going on. I wish the silhouette was better. I had the same complaint that I had for the quad exposure with the silhouette, but I like how in the middle you see her face and she's holding up the aperture light above her head, and it kind of takes a second to see that, so I think that's kind of cool. There's cool ideas in that photo. Now, the next few photos I love the idea of. I hated the result and then ended up loving it later, like I said. I wanted to have a creepy shadow cast against our shed in our yard, and I would have loved to see her face in this, but the more I look at it, the more I like that it's blown out, because you still largely see her silhouette. And I shot 2 attempts at these because I didn't trust my first one, and they ended up looking basically the same. After I shot this photo, I had an idea. Basically, I wanted to use that shadow she cast on the shed to contain a second Anna. So I wanted to do a double exposure of the first shot and then get her to fit inside the shadow on the second shot. So this gave me an idea. So basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do like that shot we just did, except I'm gonna put you in the shadow behind you.
Okay.
So in that picture you were staring off, you had this shadow cast behind you. I want to put a second you in that shadow. So I don't know if that'll work because it's duochrome. That means it's not monochrome. It's got 2 chromes. 2 chromes. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna set to. Gotta set to double exposure mode. Multi-exposure. 3, 2, 1. Okay, and I need you to back up, come forward a little bit. A little bit more. Okay, right there. Stop. Okay. Okay, so, no, like this way, sorry. Oh, yes, perfect, okay. Okay, perfect. 2, 1. Man. And it worked, although she's too bright again, but I really like it. I don't know, there's something about these that I'm really enjoying.
You know how you were saying 3?
Yeah.
That's what you used to say that many times, but just one more. Just one more time. Just one more time.
So you're saying you like digital better?
No.
No, you like film better.
There's a limit. There's a limit.
Because there's 8 shots in a pack of Polaroid.
Yeah.
Well, I hate to tell you, I have 3. No, not. I have 3.
You had both in your
I
hand.
have 3 packs.
No, for tonight.
We're gonna be doing this for the next 2 hours. So then for my last shot, I tried another thing that I've seen floating around the internet where there's a transparent hand on a face, and you're like looking through your hand and you see the eyes through the face. And I've seen a lot of versions of that. My version does not look like that at all. And I kind of didn't think it would based on how I was shooting it, but it still looks cool and it's really creepy. Let's see. So here's what we're gonna do. Double exposure. We're gonna do the camera.
It's right behind you.
Oh.
Right there.
Oof. Okay. Double exposure mode before I bark. There we go. Okay. Let's see how I'm framed here. Okay. There we go. All right. So. It's actually really creepy. It would have also been cool if I got closer up. Her head is very small in the frame. That was it. We used all the film. Cute. You got to play around. If an idea pops in your head, you got to do it. You got to run after it. You got to try it out. That's how we grow as photographers. And clearly I'm not doing that enough with portraits or experimental portraiture or even my Polaroid for portraits or whatever. So clearly I need to be doing it more. But it's still not only really helpful to do this, but really fun. And this was on a night where I had kind of a rough day that was long and difficult. And just doing a photo shoot like this really brightened my spirits. I just always feel better when I go out of my way to experiment creatively like this. And I love this film, and now that I kind of understand how it behaves, I'm excited to do another shoot like this with the next pack of black and yellow duochrome that I have. It's a really interesting concept to have a film that's, you know, not just black and white, but black and yellow, or, you know, like the Reclaimed Blue is kind of white and black and blue. And it's interesting It's an interesting idea, and I like it every once in a while. I wouldn't shoot this film all the time, but it's fun to get that different look. You can follow me on Instagram at Will Malone, and you can follow my Polaroid Instagram account at RoidRage72. Please subscribe if you want to listen to me blame my Polaroid i2 light meter on all my other problems in life, not just the fact that I suck at photography.